guys, I am back with another video, and it is on this look right here. Just like a smoky eye with some shimmer to it, and kind of like a nude kind of pink lip. For Memorial Day was on Monday, so all the pools are open. This is not a look you will wear to the pool. A little more dramatic. You could do it for a daytime look, but if you're a little more timid, you may want to do this at night instead. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. So if you would like to see how to do this look, then continue watching, and then continue watching. Yeah, just continue watching. Alright, so let's get started. This is a look with some dark shadows, and because of that, I'm going to start with my eye makeup first, which I usually don't do, so it is a little weird for me. But I'm just going to take some concealer, or if you have an eyeshadow primer, we're just going to prime our eyelids right now. I think I'm using the Candy Glamoflauge concealer. This is a thicker concealer, but I like it because it does cover up any discoloration I have on my eyelids. Once you have that down, you're going to take an eyeshadow color similar to your skin tone just to set that concealer so it doesn't crease or anything. And this is just really going to help our other eyeshadows go on really smoothly and blend out really well. Now that we have that done, we are going to go in with our transition color, and I am using the color Fix, and it's from the Urban Decay On The Run palette. I'm just putting this in my crease and being kind of sloppy with it. I mean, we're just gonna blend out a lot for this look, so you don't necessarily have to be very precise with any of the eyeshadows that we put down, because we're gonna continue to go back and blend out and back and forth a lot. So now I'm going in with the next color, and this is also from the Urban Decay On The Run palette. This is the color Resist. And I'm putting this all over my eyelid, up into my crease, and even a little bit above my crease. Like I said, this is it's not super dark, but it is a darker eyeshadow look, so we're just going to pack that on to the intensity that you like. So you can see that we do have a harsh line after we have that shadow down, which is fine. We're just going to take that blending brush that we used earlier and make sure everything is nice and smooth and blended out. There is no additional product on the brush right now, but if you would like to put that first transition shade that we used back on the brush, you can do that and blend out that way as well. And right now I am taking the color Persuade by MAC, and I'm concentrating this on the lower portion of my eyelid. We're not going to go as high as we did with that second color, just mainly on the lower portion, and we're really going to pack this shadow on. I'm going to make it pretty dark, but don't worry if you end up going darker than you want to. We are going to put some shimmery shadows on top of this, so it does lighten it up a little bit. But just go as dark as you want. You don't have to pack this much shadow on if you're not comfortable wearing this much, or if it is too dark for you. So up to you. It's your look. You do what works for you. And now again, I'm just taking that blending brush and blending everything out. That's going to be the common theme here. Pack on the shadow, blend it out, pack on the shadow, blend it out, and we're just going to keep going back and forth like that. So at first I took this color Dive, also from the On The Run palette, but it wasn't really doing anything for me, so I went over that with this dual intensity shadow from Nars in the color Callisto, and I just mainly put that on the center of my eyelid. And then I went over that with MAC Pressed Pigment in Warming Heart, just to add a little extra shimmer. And then you're just going to want to take a makeup wipe and clean up any fallout that you had, because most likely you had some fallout. That's why we do the eyeshadows first in a look like this. Now I'm just taking my foundation. I'm using the Revlon Colorstay foundation, and I'm dotting it all over my face. And I actually mixed it this time with the Hard Candy Just Face It foundation. I had tried it out on my hand and I really liked the finish of it, so that's why I blended it out with my fingers, because that's how I tested it out on my hand, and I wanted to make sure that it looked the same way. So I just blended it out with my fingers at first, and then I went over it with a beauty blender to make sure that it was all blended out nicely and evenly. Alright, so I did my eyebrows off camera because for me, eyebrows and eyeliner take the longest, so I didn't want to waste any time doing my eyebrows on camera. If you want to see how I do my eyebrows, you can look back at one of my other videos. I'm just going in with some concealer. I am trying out a new concealer here. This is the Revlon Colorstay concealer. I love the foundation so much, so I thought I would like the concealer, but I'm going to admit I'm not sold on it. I've only used it a couple of times though, so maybe it'll grow on me. But once that is down and blended out, I am going over it with the Makeup Forever concealer mixed with the Hard Candy Glamoflauge concealer. Lately, I have really been liking this combination. The Glamoflauge concealer by itself, it's kind of a weird consistency for me, so I don't love it, but I do really like it mixed with the Makeup Forever concealer. Alright, and as always, I go over that with a beauty sponge. Once I have it blended out with my fingertips, I always have to blend it out even more with a beauty sponge. I just feel like it picks up so much of the excess product and really just makes your makeup, your concealer, your foundation, everything look like it has a flawless finish. So it is definitely something I do every single time I do my makeup. Now to set my under eye concealer, I'm going to use the Nars Translucent Crystal Powder, and I have been mixing that with the MAC Pro Emphasize powder. So those two mixed together I use to set my under eye concealer. So to set my face, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC25. I used to use this powder all the time, but if you're not careful, it can look very cakey. So you just want to use a little bit, swirl it over your face, and if you just use a little bit, it really gives you a nice airbrushed finish, which we all love. On to bronzer. I have been using the same thing every single day lately. This is the Essence Matte Compact Powder in the color Soft Tan. Literally every single video I've done, I'm pretty sure that I've used this. Well, maybe not every single one, but the more recent ones, I've been using this as my bronzer, and I absolutely love it. It blends out so well. I'm just obsessed with it lately, so it has definitely been the only bronzer I have been using, probably for like the past 3 weeks. For blush, I went in with a blush from the e.l.f. Blush palette, and then I went over top of that with the Amaretto blush from the Jaclyn Hill and Becca Cosmetics Champagne Glow palette. Whew, that was hard to say. So yes, I used 2 blushes for this look, the e.l.f. blush and the Amaretto from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And on top of that, I am putting some highlighter just on the apples of my cheeks, and of course I'm using Champagne Pop from the Champagne Glow palette. I love this highlighter so much, it's so pretty. So yeah, just swirling that on the apples of my cheeks for a nice glow. Now I'm taking that color Persuade by MAC, which was the darkest color that we used on our eyelid, and I'm going to line the lower lash line, and then I'm going to blend it out with the first transition color we used, which was called Fix. It was from the Urban Decay on the Run palette. So just blending that out, and then we are going to do a winged liner, and the eyeliner I'm using is the NYC Liquid Liner in black. And now we're just going to line the waterline with a nude pencil. I'm using the Hard Candy concealer pencil that I always use, but you can use any nude pencil. This is just going to brighten up our eyes a little bit. And then in the inner corner and on the brow bone, I'm going to take that Callisto color that we used on our lid, the Dual Intensity Nars shadow. And yes, I'm just going to put that right on the brow bone and on the inner corner of the eyelid. And then I'm going to do some mascara. I am using Rimmel Lash Accelerator, and I'm going to coat my upper and lower lashes. For lips, I am using a Jordana lip pencil in the color Rose Crush to line my lips. On top of that, I'm using this Sephora lipstick. It's so hard to find the names on these lipsticks. I don't know why. I think it's number 14. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to put that over top. And then on top of that, I'm going to use the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. After we're done with the lips, I am going to put some lashes on. This is completely optional. You can do this if you want, if you have a special event you're going to, but if you just want to stick with mascara, that is perfectly fine too. Say, this is the look. This is the look that I'm going to destroy in just a little bit when I put my hands all over Mommy's face to give her a kiss. Boo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. What up?